Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are tacking up to ride and I'm going to bring y'all along with me. So first I start off with my shedding blade, just getting all of that loose hair off. It's been shedding season and I've practically been covered in white hair. Thanks Scout, love you. Anyways, then I spray my laser sheen on my horse, and as you can tell, Scout very much so loves laser sheen. It's mainly the spray bottle. He actually doesn't mind the spray itself. Laser sheen's kind of like show sheen, but it doesn't attract dust, and it's really nice when you have horses that have white because it keeps them white longer. It also conditions their coat. Then I go in with my stiff brush and I'm getting kind of more of that hair off, kind of trying to get more hair off, and I'm getting all of that caked up mud off and stuff like that. It's been super rainy the last few days, so I'm just making sure that I can get stuff off. And then I go back in with my soft brush and get some dust off, and I create his legs and stiff brush them too because of the mud and all the stuff that was caked on there. And then since it was really hot out that day, I did fly spray and then I gave him some treats. Next, tacking up, I have my felt saddle pad. It's like a build-up pad. Then I grab my 1999 Running P barrel saddle. I'm trying to find another saddle that fits Scout better, and the flared edges is from sitting in a saddle rack a few years because it's a 1999. This gullet doesn't fit him as well, so we'll see what I find. Next, I'm cinching my saddle and we're ready to go. Of course, I bridled off screen. First thing I do when I get on is place his head and say, hey, you need to keep your head down. It kind of sets the almost like boundaries for the whole ride and the rules for the whole ride that you have to put your head down. That way he can use his rib cage. We've been working on putting our head down, not anticipating being able to come back to me when I ask for fast. So we've been working on an exercise called slow, fast, slow. And then I'm trying to prioritize cueing with my legs more than my hands. On our right jog lap number 1, I had to tell him to put his head down and break out the withers and not the pole because he was kind of trying to like curl in with his nose, but he was already on the vertical. I really just wanted him to put his head down instead of having it super high up in the air. I want him to look like a pleasure horse because that's what I'm showing in. On jog lap number 2, I was riding two-handed, and I ride two-handed to start out when I'm just starting to get these cues on my horse, and then I'll ride in my shank bit later. I'll have to pop up on screen what bit I ride him in a shank, and then I just use a loose ring snaffle. That's a weaver. It was like $8, and I just used that for my collection like foundations. On lap 3, he kind of was having some balance issues. He's been off of EPM meds, so it's a muddy arena, so it's hard to move all around the space, and that's why we were doing rail work, but I could tell that the ground was really bad because I felt it, because Scout was like, ooh, this is bad ground. Anyways, we got a drug the next day. It was super fine. Also his tailbag, I'm pretty sure his passion for fashion tailbags, some people have been asking me that. It keeps Scout from ripping out his tail because he likes to do that. I need to get some more though that I know for sure are fashion. And then on my right jog lap number 5, I ask for whoa, and I stick it pretty well. So that's a win in my books. Now I go cool down, but we still need a good heads up. I don't let him put his head all the way up in the air. We're trying to strengthen his muscles. And then we're walking left to warm up his muscles on the left side. Horses' muscles are kind of like rubber bands. You have to stretch them before you use them intensely, otherwise they'll snap. And I don't want an expensive vet bill after I just came off of one. So if you haven't heard that story, go on my Instagram. There's a post about it. I think I'm going to pin it sometime soon. Next, I transitioned into my trot. It was okay. It was a little too tense on my side, which made Scout tense. Next, our lap number 2 is balance. It could use impulsion, but it wasn't horrible looking. And for a first ride back, it's not bad. I had him off for like a good 4 days because of the rain, but he was putting his head up a lot, and so I had to really get into him and dig into him on that. But he had a really nice head sit in the last corner. On lap number 3, I got really nitpicky on the headset. He was picking up his head after every cue, and I won't be able to stop him at a show to redo my cues, so I put him back in place a bunch, and it may have been a little bit overkill, but now I know now to use for the future. My left jog lap number 4, it feels a little off. He may have been shouldering stuff. He tries to put his head up the whole lap, and so I'm like trying to put him back into place, and my arms look really floppy there, so trash equitation from Addie. Yeah. But on the next lap, his head's down way better, and he's still trying to put his head up at the camera, though, so I got onto him close up, so that's what you can see. And then our lap 6 it was a pretty jog lap. I thought that it was, this is like somewhat show ready, you know? He still trying to stare at the camera, but what can you do? I had a really big camera out. I was using a fancy one, and as you can tell, it's like pretty bad out of focus when you look at the past. I should have used a tripod, but it was kind of muddy, so I didn't want to ruin it. Oh well, we know for next time. And then our jog to walk to halt transition, It was good. I liked it. He actually listened. We didn't go straight to a whoa. But the walk was way too fast. Like, that's too fast for English in my case. And then our cool down, again, still need a good headset. And I'm taking it easy today since it's his first ride back, so we aren't loping today. It's just a walk trot ride. And then I walk him off to the right because I did too many laps left, so I'm making it up in the right to make sure that he doesn't go one-sided. I go in between one and two-handed on this because you can one hand in the snaffle. He understands now that, like, oh, this is the idea. When she does this, I know what this feels in a snaffle and a shank bit. And then that was mainly the whole gist of my ride. I walk out both sides and then I get off. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!